Hello there everyone, and welcome to today's video. This one's going to be more of a talky episode, not really going to focus on the gameplay in the background. What the gameplay in the background is just me fooling around in my lower tier premium light tanks. Just having a bit of fun, I guess. But today's topic is it's based off a video my cousin put up. He focused on Call of Duty, but it was about the community. And his video focused on who ruins the community, theoretically. The community or the developers. My video is going to more focus on the community. Now, I derive this from, you're always seeing posts on the Water Tanks forums or other forums about why the community is so bad, why there are bad players, and how could they possibly be so bad. Then you also get the in-game complaining. Oh, my noob team, this team sucks. You know what I'm talking about. Now, I can't say I'm innocent of that. I've complained. Everybody complains. What I would like to get down to here is why is this the case? Why do we have this going on? Now, it also brings into consideration that it's a team versus team game. You've got 15 tanks versus 15 tanks in your normal random battles. Obviously, there are different battle modes that have other configurations. And quite often, on the C server, I've mainly noticed this. I didn't really pay that much attention to this on the North American server for the time I was on, but there are quite a few people quite a majority of the community that can't seem to play as a team. They'll either go off on their own and then complain when they die because their team didn't follow them and support them because the team maybe had the idea that what they were doing was a bad idea and it wouldn't work out, it wasn't safe. And then you just get the people that don't seem to pay attention to the match, i.e. where you get people talking about looking at the mini-map. It's often evident that people do not do this. They don't take that into consideration. They just go, right, I want to go this way, I'm going to go this way, stuff what the rest of you think. Now, that can be good. It can be good that you set your mind and you want to go achieve it. But what happens if you're in Himmelsdorf and you go up onto the hill where there is always a presence of enemy tanks, and there's yourself and two other tanks, and those two other tanks are lower tier than you. Let's say tier 4 match, you're tier 3, and you've got two of the 3 tier 2s on your team up there with you. Then the enemy shows up with a tier 4, 2 tier 3s, and a tier 2 shows up later on. They swamp you. Then you complain that, oh, a noob team, no one went hill, and the people went hill suck because they couldn't help you. Well, that's where you have to take responsibility. You went up there, obviously knowing your support was lower tier, and that was your support. There are things you can do when you realize these things to counteract results like that. Now, one example of this is don't go up the hill. Realize this, turn around and fall back to a position where, if need be, you can halt that flank. You can slow the enemy's progression through to your base down. It can be done. Maybe not too well if it's just you left there, but as a last-ditch effort, it can mean a victory at the end of the battle. You never know. It may give your team time to respond, or your team may get towards their base quicker. You never know. But it all comes down to the decision making, the crucial decision making. Do you go alone and possibly fail? And if you do that, will you be that one in every match that complains about your team? Or will you go, sit there and accept the fact that, yes, I stuffed up, I shouldn't have done that, I played bad. I make that decision regularly. Platooning with mates and 5 minutes into the match, I'm dead. And I go, what happened? I go, I made the wrong move. I played bad. I should have done this instead of doing this. You gotta know when. But again, we come back to posts on forums and such. Just posts anywhere in general. Why does it seem like teams every now and then, like every day, suck? Why does it seem like all I get is bad people? What? Why? Why me? Why this? Why that? Fair enough. You get frustrated. I get frustrated. It's hard to judge. But more often than not, the people who make these posts are the people who quite often don't pitch into the team's effort. They don't help play as a team. They'll lead the charge, which is fair enough. Someone's got to lead the charge. Someone's got to take the first few shots, fire the first few shots. But they can also often be the people that lead the charge when the charge is 3 tanks against 5. That's never going to work. And if it does, well done. But again, the community, you every match you'll see, you always, okay, not every match, but more often than not, you'll see one player, at least one player, complaining. Noob team sucks, blah blah blah. It's inevitable. You can't help it. How do we combat it? I'm not sure. Ignore it. You can try. Eventually you get fed up. But another thing that can tie into this is those people that complain about the team's stats. So, it's more rare now, but stat-based suicide. And by that I mean, they'll see, oh, my team's a bunch of tomatoes. I'm a green player. This match is lost automatically. My team sucks. I go and drive off the cliff. I go and drown myself. That's not necessarily a good idea. I've been in matches where it's been 30% chance to win. The enemy team knows that it's 30% chance to win because someone on their team points it out. And yet our team seems to be able to take the win out of it. We are victorious. And I think Mighty Jingles put this up in one of his Mingles with Jingles episodes. Your team gets overconfident, and you sit there and think, I don't have to try. This is guaranteed a win. Their team sucks, so you play relaxed. And then all of a sudden, the team with the 30% chance to win is taking down your team one by one. 5 minutes later, 2/3 of your team's gone. Oh crap! What happened? Well, you got overconfident, you relaxed off, and you didn't focus on what was happening. But then you also, this is extreme rare, I don't think I've ever seen it, is people killing other people on their own team because they're a bad player. I know it's happened, I've heard about it happening, never seen it happen though. Why? Why would you do that just because they're a bad player? I mean, I'm not the best player. My stats, my WN8 rating is 820 something. That's classed as average. It's yellow. I'm not the best player. I don't profess to be the best player, although I will admit that my stats have been improving. And that just comes with experience, as always. But yeah, for somehow I can see faults in bad players, and even players that are statistically better than me. I can pick up their faults. Why? Statistically, they're better than me. Why aren't they playing so much better? Is it just because they're like, oh, I'm God, I got Unicum stats, and congratulations, buddy, you're good at the game. So what? No reason to be a jerk about it, I guess you'd say. It sucks. Like, I try not to judge a team off the stats. I use the stats as an indication of how early on the battle's going to go. If we've got a bad team, it may look like it's not going to go well. means I got to step up my game that whole much more. Whether I do achieve that or not is a completely different story. But you never rely on those stats. Like I said, I've had a team where we had 30% chance to win, and we won. It happens. It's not rare. It's actually more common than a lot of people think, but it happens. It's hard to explain, I guess. You can, yeah, sure. You go, oh, you're a bad player, your stats say so. Fair enough. But I saw a post on, I think it was the WoT Labs forums a while back, and they were talking about the XVM ratings and that. And I heard a term that can be used very well here. It's called XVM camo. And what this results in is a player with bad or average stats playing a lot better than their stats actually indicate. So they may be a yellow player, but they play at the level of a darker green player, more towards blue. It happens. It has happened. You can never tell. Every now and then, there'll be a player that gets an epic match. RNG is on their side. They're over the moon. They've had an epic match. Well done to them. A lot of people don't realise this can happen. And like, oh, they have bad stats. They are a bad player. They suck straight up. There's no hope in them. You're wrong. Give them a go. Give them a chance. Yes, there is a good chance they will fail. Hell, I've seen good players fail. It happens. It's an MMO game, a massive multiplayer online game. There is an element of RNG. So something's going to happen, and it's going to go wrong somewhere along the lines. But this now brings me on to what almost likely be my final point here. Bots. You see posts by Wargaming and that saying that they've cleared so many thousand bots out of the system, banned so many accounts. Often you can also tell by their stats if they are botting or not. It's not a definite thing, but it can give you a decent indication. And also how they play. But then you also got to raise the argument, are they a bot or are they a bad player? I had a match that you may see the highlight of in this video in my Tetrarch, where at first, after I died, I went to our T18 view, and I thought that he was botting, because there was no targets of light. He was hiding in a bush near our spawn, and he was just shooting at their last known location. Typical kind of bot behaviour. I've seen that happen a lot in bot programs. But it turns out he wasn't a bot, he was a player. One indication of this, bots can't type in chat. He did. He was trying to coordinate with our Panzer 35T, who I also thought was a bot. Turns out he was more likely a bad player because he made moves that a bot wouldn't make. These were smart moves that saved him his life in multiple occasions. But then that brings a cloud of judgment. You're sitting there and you're loading up screen, you're looking at stats, and they're all their bad stats. They could be a bot. I'm not sure. You load into the match, right, they're a bot. I've got to do more work. I've got to pick up the slack on their part and do my best to try and pull this victory through. Turns out they're not a bot. They're just an inexperienced or bad player. It gets you by surprise. It does. And you sit there and you think, holy crap, I thought they were a bot, but here they are with 3 kills, and the way they played was smart. It was like a player. There was evidence of critical thinking. So that all ties into the post complaining. You can complain that your team's bad all you like. What you can't really do is call them noobs. You don't know these other players. It's a catch-22, I guess you'd say. You complain and nothing is achieved. You complain and those players go, oh crap, I'm a bad player, I need to get better. And they go on and improve. There's there is a cloud of judgment. You can complain all you like and nothing will happen. You can complain and something will happen. More often than not, you'll complain and people will get annoyed that you're complaining. So it's an odd case. You never know. You can never tell. Just do your best, I guess I can say. And yeah. Also, leave me some feedback on what you think about this topic. I'd like to know what you think. Do you think similar things to I do? Do you have different opinions? Let me know. I'm interested because this is a topic that has been in my mind for quite a while, but I was more inspired to do from my cousin's video. I thought, yeah, I can relate that to water tanks, so why not? Yeah, so thanks for watching, and yeah, again, leave some feedback. Let me know what you think of the topic, and I'll catch you next time.